Aye, Shepherd's Pie, greetings from the Philippines. Welcome back to the channel for a coffee and a chat. Now, it's going to be a bit of a whinge, this one. It's not going to be very festive spirited until the end of the video. There will be an uplifting ending. So if this video depresses you too much, stay tuned to the end and I will fill you with Christmas cheer. But no, I mean, I am going to get called the whinging Pom for this video, I know. But I've said from day one, I don't really care. I don't think it's a whinge. I think it is a constructive observation that needs to be told. Because a lot of people can't take the Philippines. A lot of people, I say, don't have the patience to live here. And in the past, when I've seen videos, Geo recently did a video saying the death of 1,000 cuts or something along those lines. I didn't watch it, but I get the gist of it just from the thumbnail, that the Philippines can wear you down, it can get to you. And I thought I was pretty bulletproof. I thought these things don't get to me. Living in Southeast Asia for 14 years now, I'm used to it. You know, certain aspects of life can irritate you here. Other aspects are so much better that they counterbalance the negative aspects, if that makes sense. But my God, this has been a trying week. And I thought it was such a classic example of how the Philippines can get you down, how the Philippines can test you, that rather than, I just tell the story rather than go into anything else. Because I lost my phone on Thursday. It was my own fault. Like an idiot, I had been to the hospital to see a consultant and I had been using it to navigate back, and I had popped it in the front section of my scooter. Trouble with living in the Philippines, particularly Dumaguete, there isn't much theft here. You get so used to, when you first come here, you're like, you think, I've got to take my helmet, I can't leave my shopping on there, etc. And everyone tells you, don't worry about it. And apathy ensues. Now, I didn't intentionally leave it in the front of the scooter pocket. I was driving back and I suddenly remembered that Ellen wanted chicken. And being the wonderful, adoring husband or boyfriend that I am, there's a Freudian slip. I thought, if the lady wants chicken, she will get chicken. She's smirking at me over there now. So I pulled into LP Hyper. And I parked up the bike and I forgot the phone was there. I wasn't actually using it to navigate. I just used it to get out of the hospital car park and find a shortcut. And it wasn't on a display. There's literally a little side pocket in the front where you can lift it up, put it back in again. So you'd have to have really been looking to find it. Now, I didn't think I'd lost it. I didn't give it any thought. I came out, got my shopping, came back to the house. We had dinner, went to do the quiz night. Couldn't find my phone anywhere, and we were rushing for time. I thought, I've left it outside on the bike. Wasn't outside the bike, so I thought it must be in the house somewhere. Didn't give it much more thought, and went down the quiz. Next day came back, or that night, next morning looked for it, couldn't find it. Started to realise it had gone. Then I remembered I had left it in the pouch in the car park. So I went on Mr. Google. Amazing thing, Google. I didn't know you could do it. They've got a finding hub. They located my phone. It had clearly been stolen because it was moving around. I looked a couple of times, so I barred it and I put a little message on, there's a reward if you give it back. Not really expecting to get it back, but I didn't care too much about the phone. Had it a couple of years now. The thing that bothered me was the number. I need the number. I need the number for my Gcash. I need the number for my WhatsApp, all my contacts on there. I need the number, basically. The phone, I did think about going searching for it, making a vlog, because it kept moving. 1 minute it was in the car park, then it was at the back, then it was further down. It kept going back to the car park, so I suspect one of the car park attendants might have taken it. But either way, I thought, what do we do about this? I need to get my new number. And I was with Globe. So I went to the Globe shop. Explained what had happened. They told me could not do anything until I cancelled the number. But they can't do that there in the shop. You've got to call them. Well, of course, I don't have a phone. I can't call. and Ellen couldn't do it on a ditto. So this is where the saga began. We cancelled it by messenger, open chat message. Ellen gave up after about an hour and a half. I took over. She was tired. She'd been working in the morning. 3.5 hours it took to cancel this phone. The chat would answer, then it would disappear and say, I'll be back in a moment. It wouldn't come back for like 15, 20 minutes. And halfway through it, they said that they didn't have enough information to carry on. So they'd have to end the chat. Was there anything else I could help you with today? Which I text back, what do you mean you can't deal with it? I've given you my name, I've given you the number, I'm the rightful owner, someone has stolen my phone, I want it cancelled. What the hell are you talking about? This is nonsense. Why can't you carry on? And then the message we wrote back said, okay, we're sorry, we didn't understand, we had the wrong information. We'll continue to help you. You think, what the hell is that about? Is the guy just trying to get out of it? Does he not want to do it? Is he busy or whatever? But anyway, after 3.5 hours, my number was barred. So we went back to the Globe shop. We told them we had barred it. They said it wasn't barred on the system. So, well, I have been told that it is barred. We've done what you asked. So then the guy explains that because I was on a pay-as-you-go, I top it up 7-Eleven on the Gcash, that I would have to go and get a declaration signed and witnessed that I'd lost it. I would have to produce 2 forms of identification. I'd have to come back to them. Couldn't get out of him. Couldn't understand where you go, whether that's a police station, you have to have a declaration with a lawyer or whatever. Either way, absolute nonsense. But then he said that there was a remedy. There was another option, an easier option. And that easier option would be is if I went on to a prepaid plan. If I signed up for Globe, sorry? Thank you, my love. A postpaid plan. Well, we would call it prepaid in the UK because you're paying before you use it anyway. Okay, whatever you want to call it. If I signed up for that instead of doing the top-ups, they could transfer the number over. There would be no requirement to go to the Notary Republic and all the rest of it. And even better, I would get my old number back within 3 hours. So I thought, Merry Christmas. And it was for the princely sum of 1,750 pesos, I think. And after the 3 months, if I didn't want to keep the service, I could go back to the prepaid. I just had to come into the Globe shop and they would change me back to the pay-as-you-go. I was like, okay, fine, just do it. I'm not worried about the money. I just need to get the number because we're going to Vietnam in a couple of days and I need my phone. I need the number for there. To which he then proceeds to tell me I'm going to have problems using my number over there unless I buy one of their packages. That if I use the phone over there every day, they'll charge me 399 pesos for being out of the country. So I'm like, well, look, just get me the number. I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So we did it all. We filled in the paperwork. He gave me the SIM card. Everything was hunky-dory. We left the shop. He told me within 3 hours it would be back on. And he would message me to tell me it was back on. And if it wasn't back on, to call him. Well, surprise, surprise. 3 hours later, it wasn't back on. So we called him. Surprise, surprise. He didn't answer. Didn't know anything about it. Couldn't get through to him. That was it. Ellen messaged him. I called him. That was that. I'm thinking, okay. I looked online. They said sometimes it can take up to 24 to 72 hours. I thought, well, okay. But that was for the prepaid one. I'd paid in advance. Now I'd paid my 3 months. I should get it quicker. Wasn't too stressed at that stage. So the next day, I go back to the Globe shop. And you have to pull out these numbers here. And you have to do this and you have to do that. And I spent an hour and a half waiting in the Globe shop to see someone who then told me that there was a problem, a technical difficulty with the disconnection people, that they couldn't get through to them to tell them to reconnect it. I'm like, this is Globe. You can't get through to a whole section. Can't you phone them or anything like that? I mean, this is ridiculous. And she went outside and she came back. God knows what she did out back, but she came back out for 10 minutes later and said her supervisor was on the case, that she was chasing it up and that it would be back on within 24 hours. And I'm thinking, well, that's going to be 2 days after they first told me it was 3 hours. But okay, I said, fine. She was a nice woman. I was polite about the whole thing. You know, it is what it is. Guess what? 24 hours passed and it was not back on. It was not back on. So I said, right, back to the Globe shop. Back to the Globe shop. Waited again for an hour plus. You'd be stupid. They give you these numbers. You've got to sit down. You've got to fill in this keypad. I'm not joking. In that shop, there are more staff than there are customers. You've got 3 people on one desk. You've got 2 desks on another. You've got 3 people selling around, and you've got a security guard who handles your inquiries. There were only 7 people in the shop when we went in. It still took an hour and a half to get seen. The same story. The same story. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This has been 3 days now. You keep telling me it's going to be back on within 24 hours. And it's not. How hard can it be? Why can someone not phone up this department? Well, they don't have phone numbers, etc. I was trying not to lose my temper, but it's very hard because you just know these people are paying you lip service. You just know that guy when he gave me the number the first time. He was never going to answer. He'd finished work. He'd gone home. You know, he was out of the equation. You know damn well the supervisor the night before will have sent an email. She will not have chased it up. You know, that will be that. But he said, no, we are going to make phone calls. We're going to get this sorted. This is wrong. It's been too long. That's going to be that. That's going to be this. So I said, okay, fine. I will leave it with you. But you guarantee me within 24 hours, it will be back on. Now, you've got to understand at the time, we're getting closer and closer to Vietnam. If I can't get my phone number reactivated, I can't use Grab to pick up taxis and things. I'm supposed to be meeting friends over there who I've got contacts through WhatsApp. I can't install my WhatsApp. I basically can't do anything without that number. So we went away and that was that. And I went to bed that night, very disappointed, frustrated, getting stressed. I knew it would be a problem if I tried to, I knew there was going to potentially be problems setting up the Gcash, that could take a couple of days to do, etc. etc. We're running out of time. We're leaving. We're literally, our bags are packed there. We're about to go to Vietnam. Now, this moment. So the next day came. It was not back on. Ellen managed to get through to the guy. She messaged him. He hadn't answered the messages before. He came back with the same messages saying that basically there was a fault with the system. You know, they couldn't contact the other office to get it back on. And I said, right, I've had it. I'm done now. I am going to that shop and I am going to, I'm going to demand to see a manager. I ain't leaving until they do say it's ridiculous. I want him on the phone. And I said to Ellen, message him back and say, look, this is beyond the joke. This is unacceptable. I'm not accepting this. It's been 4 days now. You promised me within 3 hours. You keep telling me you can't contact this department. You must have phones. I mean, what are you talking about? You can't contact them. Sending an email for a supervisor isn't working. I've had enough. I am coming to the Globe office and I want to speak to a manager. And about 20 minutes after that, he phoned me up and asked me if my phone was working. I told him, no, it hasn't been working. And he hung up on me. And by this stage, I am spitting feathers. So we went outside to get on the bike and go to the Globe office. And then it came back on again. It was suddenly working. And within about 20 minutes, he called again and said, is it working? And he sent me a text and he sent that. And it was done. Hallelujah. I mean, now, I know there are going to be people here who are going to say, you're whinging, Pom, it's blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It is a small story. It was not the end of the world, but it is symptomatic of life in the Philippines. Everything is so damn complicated over here. You know, anything you think is going to be easy always turns out to be difficult. Globe are one of the biggest providers, if not the biggest provider of mobile phones in the Philippines. Globe stores can't do anything for you. They can't deactivate your phone. They can't reactivate your phone. They can't talk to this section. They can't talk to that section. You know, if you are happy with that, if you think that's acceptable, if you think in the 21st century that the Philippines people do not deserve better because it will be happening to Filipinos, you know, then I think you want your head tested. If you're going to say that's okay, then there's something wrong with you. But as I say, we are over it now. It's a bit like the old adage, I won't use the KIL word, but you know, it's the husband who goes to prison for ending his wife and it's over a burnt dinner. But it's not over a burnt dinner, is it? It is a multitude of things over time, and it's the straw that breaks the camel's back. And this phone issue nearly was the straw that broke the camel's back. The Philippines is a challenging place to live. I strongly believe the pros still outweigh the benefits. I'm not sure I believed that 2 days ago when my phone wasn't working. That was very close to a tipping point for me. So we're leaving for Vietnam in an hour and a half. Maybe we'll be dazzled by how wonderful Vietnam is, that we'll think, God, we've got to move here. I doubt it. Why am I still in it? I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, as I say, if you're thinking about coming here, I did a video a little while back when I asked some expats in a bar. I might put a link down in the description. What's the best thing about the Philippines? What's the worst thing? What's the best piece of advice you could give someone? A few people said patience. You have to be patient over here. And to be honest with you, up until this phone incident, I've been quite enjoying some of the issues we've had over here in terms of the lack of communication. The example, our water. We have our water delivered, regular service. You know, I pay it promptly. I never let it get more than 3 deliveries. The guy came today. Last week, we paid him for the 3, gave him a nice little Christmas tip. He was happy. Comes back today, says we owe him for 8. Ellen said, that can't be 8. It's only been a week. Then he comes back from the shop and says, no, it's 5. And then the first thing she says to me when I get up this morning, she said, how many waters is it? I said, it's 3. If he brings the other one back, I mark them on the fridge. It's just stuff like that. It's not big money. I'll probably give him I'll pay the old lot and give him a tip, another tip anyway. It's small money. But if you're not a patient person, these things can get you down. As I say, I've been quite arrogant in myself, thinking I'm not letting these things get me. I'm more mature. I am more patient now. The Philippines in that sense has made me a better person. I'm not in the West. All that went out the window with this bloody phone thing. It really did. So basically, yeah, if you think I'm making a fuss, Merry Christmas to you. I'm just trying to say, you know, if you are the kind of person who is demanding, shall we say, who expects high quality of service, you know, who gets frustrated over things like this, Philippines probably isn't for you. But the reason the Philippines is for me is because even as this was going on, even as the phone saga was driving me to fate, we had a fantastic weekend. After I left the Globe store, I went down to, I was in Robinson's, so I went to the Robinson's to do a bit of shopping. The queues were what they always are. Ridiculous, queuing for no reason whatsoever. All the tills were open, so many staff, yet everyone was blocked up as far as the eye could see.
6 hours later.
But then the evening came and we went out for a nice relaxing meal, and that soothed my soul. It put the memories of the day and the phone just on the back burner for a little while. Nice little place, just round the corner, Filipino restaurant, never been there before, and yeah, it was all right. I had the girls ate Filipino. I had the floating cheeseburger and fries in a cheese sauce. It was a good night.
The next day.
Now, you would have seen me and some friends watching the Joshua fight. We all got together and watched Anti-Joshua knock the shit out of Jake Paul. But YouTube has made me cut this section out.
6 hours later.
Good food with friends, good company. What more can you want? It was nice. It was a great Saturday. Really wanted to see Jake Paul get knocked out by Joshua. Went on a bit too long for my liking, but yeah, great day, great food. It was a good day.
The next day.
And then the next day we went to a Christmas pickleball party. Friends of mine had organised it. Again, another great day, full of the Christmas spirit. Everyone had a great time. Lovely barbecue, some amazing English sausages and burgers, and some really nice Filipino food. Again, just a great time with good company. Entering the Christmas spirit. It was a fantastic weekend if you take away the phone saga. And that, in short, is why I love the Philippines. I have lived in 10 countries. I've said it before in many videos. I have never experienced a community spirit, friendships like you develop in Dumaguete. You know, so for me, regardless of the phone saga, regardless of all the crap the Philippines can throw at you, and it can be very challenging at times, as I just explained with the telephone, still the pros outweigh the cons. During the day, the phone saga was getting me down. Meeting friends, drinking, going out for meals, having a general good time, it lifted you up beyond the phone saga. The phone is sorted now. Say it again, we're about to head off to Vietnam. If you think I was being miserable and moody, well, you know, fair enough. Just trying to say to you, Philippines is a wonderful place. I love my life in Dumaguete, but it can be trying. It will test you. It might even break you. But if it doesn't break you, you can have a fantastic life here in the Philippines, particularly in Dumaguete. Anyway, that's it now. We're going to leave shortly. Just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you have a fantastic time, or whatever festive spirit period you're celebrating, all that stuff. Yeah, thanks for watching. For those who've been following the channel, really do appreciate the support. I hope you have a great Christmas. All the best to you and yours and all that stuff. And the next time you'll see an upload from us, it will no doubt be in Vietnam. Anyway, yeah, if you like the video, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it would be fantastic if you did. But whether you do, whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe, be lucky, and Merry Christmas.